Not too long ago, centers were the most dominant players in the NBA. Wilt, Russell, Hakeem, Shaq, Kareem, Tim Duncan. All of these guys were the best players on NBA championship teams, and combined, they've won 30 championships total. In recent years, though, we've seen championship teams built on the shoulders of guards and forwards. Just looking at the NBA champions from 2000 to 2016, the only finals MVP who was a big man was Dirk Nowitzki, a man who was really nothing like the dominant big men of old and instead found his success through a perimeter style of play. But with yesterday's news, the news that DeMarcus Cousins is going to be paired up with Anthony Davis, well, it looks like things might change, and they might change fast. So what's up, guys? Mike here, and today I'm excited to tell you why every team in the NBA, including the Golden State Warriors, should now be very, very afraid. Because to put it simply, the two best big men in the NBA today are now on the same team. The Pelicans now have Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins in their primes, and the rest of the NBA should be terrified. This is the first time since 1999, when Tim Duncan and David Robinson were on the same Spurs team that won the NBA championship, that two Hall of Fame big men have teamed up together in their primes. But even then, Duncan was only 22 and Robinson was 33 years old. Their windows were very short together because Robinson was aging. As for the Pelicans right now, DeMarcus is 26 and Anthony Davis is only 23. For the next 5 to 7 years, New Orleans is absolutely set. Both of these guys are monsters, and the craziest thing here is that their play styles are ideal for both the modern NBA and they complement each other perfectly. Because as we all know, court spacing in today's game is key. If you have a team that can't spread the floor, then you're going to have a hard time finding success. And if you don't have players that can guard multiple positions, well, same thing. The thing is though, this will not be a problem for the Pelicans at all. Both of these guys can shoot the ball. They both have worked on their three-point shooting and have become real threats from the outside. They both are able to also put the ball on the floor if their defenders play up on them. And of course, they can bang in the post and score around the basket with great efficiency. With that said though, they are different players. They do have different play styles. And these play styles look like they're going to mesh together flawlessly. Cuz is the type of guy you can run an offense through. Obviously, the man can score at a high rate, but he's also one of the best passing big men in the game. Since the 2007 season, only 3 centers have averaged over 4.5 assists a game. Those men are Cousins, Al Horford, and Joakim Noah. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis has already established himself as one of the greatest defensive players to ever play. AD is the only power forward slash center since the 2007 season who has averaged over 2.5 blocks and 1.3 steals in a season. And he's already done that 3 times, which means these guys have already established that they are the perfect power forward center combo to play in this new style of basketball. The Pelicans now have an incredible do-it-all passing big and an otherworldly do-it-all defensive force. And no offense to Al Horford, Joakim Noah, and Marcus Camby, but let's be honest here, they do not have close to the amount of talent that Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins do. And to show you what I mean, let's take a look at just how ridiculous these guys have been in the last few years. This season, DeMarcus is putting up 27.8 points, 10.7 rebounds, 4.9 assists, 1.4 steals, 1.3 blocks, and has a 26.6 PER. In the entirety of the league's history, only 4 other players have averaged at least 27 points, 10.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 1.3 steals a game in a season. Those players are DeMarcus along with NBA legends Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and David Robinson. And this isn't anything new. In the last 3 seasons from the ages of 24 to 26, Cuz has put up 26.2 points, 11.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks, and has a 25 PER. This time, it's only Kareem who has put up those type of numbers between the ages of 24 and 26, which means that we can already see that Cousins is not just your average NBA all-star. He's a legitimate superstar who clearly should be capable of leading a team to an NBA championship with him as the team's best player. But the frightening thing here, the reason that teams like the Warriors and the Cavs should be afraid is that Anthony Davis has already proven himself to be a superstar as well. In this 2017 season, AD is putting up a monster stat line of 27.7 points, 12 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.3 steals, 2.5 blocks, and has a 27.3 PER. The only players to ever average 27 points, 11.5 rebounds, 1.2 steals, and 1.4 blocks in a single season are Anthony Davis, Kareem, and Hakeem Olajuwon. And again, this is nothing new. AD has been basically doing this since he joined the league. He's been an all-star for the last 4 years, and in the last 3 years, the man has averaged 25.3 points, 10.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 1.4 steals, 2.5 blocks, all between the ages of 21 and 23. The only other players to average these numbers between the ages of 21 and 23 are, wait, there are none. Anthony Davis is literally the only player to ever put up these type of stats at this age, which means the combination of these two superstar big men is completely unprecedented because both of these guys are doing things on an NBA court that have only been seen by a select few of the greatest big men to ever play the game of basketball. And just in case you're still not convinced here, well, let's take a look at their per 100 possession numbers, a stat that nullifies pace and shows just how much a player would produce in 100 possessions of a basketball game. There are only 2 NBA players who have ever put up per 100 possession numbers of 37 points, 15.5 rebounds, 1.5 steals, and 1.5 blocks in a single year of NBA basketball. And yeah, they now play on the same team. And the craziest thing about this is that this trade isn't even a risk for the Pelicans. Even if somehow this doesn't work out, even if DeMarcus does leave for free agency, New Orleans hardly gave up a package that would really hurt the future of their team. So just trying this out and seeing if the best 2 big men in the NBA can gel together really was a no-brainer. As for the Sacramento Kings here, well, that's another story, but we're not going to really go into that in this video because tomorrow I will be posting a video on that exact topic. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe because it's going to be very, very fun looking at all of the Kings' stupid mistakes in the last few seasons. Is few the right word? Because it's been like 15 years now. So you're not going to want to miss it, but getting back to the Pelicans, I'm not even really worried about the potential risks here because I think this is going to work out in a big way. In fact, I think they'll be real NBA title contenders very soon. This, of course, will change with the addition of Cousins, but even without DeMarcus, New Orleans has quietly become a better team than people realize. This season, their defense has already proven to be solid as they rank top 10 in the league in terms of defensive efficiency. The addition of Cuz should bolster this already above average defense. As from 2014 to 2016, the Kings were a much better defensive team with Cousins on the floor than they were when he was on the bench. Now, to be fair, this season he has regressed a little on defense, but we can obviously point to the absolutely toxic environment in Sacramento and the huge offensive load he's needed to carry night in and night out as an understandable explanation for that slip. In a new city, playing for new management with another star who can carry the team on offense night in and night out, I think we can definitely expect DeMarcus to return to his above average defensive form. What has really been the Pelicans' biggest problem this year has been their offense. Right now, they rank a dreadful 27th in the league in offensive efficiency, but it's obvious that those numbers will improve with the addition of one of the best offensive big men the league has seen in a long time. Still though, New Orleans will have to add more talent around AD and Cousins to build themselves into an NBA title favorite. That's going to take some work, but the good news here is that they already have a player who seems like a great building block for their future. At the young age of 22, Drew Holiday surprised a lot of people when he was named to his first All-Star team. After that year, Philadelphia traded Holiday to New Orleans, where at first he was a shell of his former self. His first 3 years on the team were plagued by injuries, but this year, Holiday has quietly returned to near All-Star form. He's averaging 16.3 points, 7.5 assists, and 1.6 steals a night while putting up a solid 18.4 PER. Right now, he's a good third player to pair with 2 transcendent big men. Plus, he's only 26 years old. He's just entering his prime, which means as long as he stays healthy, I think we can expect some big things from him in the coming years. The question though is Drew Holiday a good enough player to be a third guy on a championship team? And I'm not gonna go one way or the other on that right now. Like I said, the guy's been injured for a long time. That remains to be seen, but soon it might not even be a problem. Just think about this. Chris Paul is going to be a free agent this summer, and Paul George is set to be a free agent in the summer of 2018. If the Pelicans can land either of those guys and fill the rest of their team with quality role players, well, then we might just have a potential dynasty on our hands. And as for this season, well, the Pelicans are just 2.5 games out of the 8th seed in the Western Conference. If Cousins and AD can gel quickly and the Pelicans can finish the year out strong, well, we could very well find ourselves ourselves with one of the most entertaining first round matchups the playoffs have ever seen. Just imagine, in 2 months we could see the Warriors take on the Pelicans in the first round of the playoffs. And if the Pelicans are as good as I think they're gonna be, this could become one of the best NBA rivalries that we have right now. I mean, come on, Cousins and Draymond going at it for a potential 7 games? Something crazy is definitely going to happen. And the real question here is that will Golden State, a team that starts Zaza Pachulia at center, be able to stop the 2 best big men in the NBA at the same time? And this summer, Chris Paul is a free agent. Imagine he returns to New Orleans. Everything about this trade is just amazing. I'm so happy. I love the NBA. I really love the NBA trade deadline, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. So that wraps it up. Like I said, every big trade deadline move, I'm going to be making at least 1 video, if not 2 about them. And if you like this video, you're definitely gonna like those too, so I would love if you subscribe. And also, I feel like I have to say this because I've seen like every YouTuber say it. You see the bell, you see the channel notifications. If you do enjoy my videos, definitely turn on the notifications so you don't miss one. Other than that, to everyone who's been supporting, you guys are awesome. You know that. Thank you guys so much, and as always, have an awesome day. And cue the music. Yeah, that ball went way over the camera.